Hello and welcome to another Warhammer 40k 8th edition reveal video. Today we will be looking at the new charge phase. Now just once again I am using the new mic, so again if any feedback that you guys can give on me, whether it's too quiet, too sensitive or it's fine, obviously that'd be great to give me a few comments because I'm still narrowing this stuff down, and obviously let me know if you preferred the old mic over the current one. So yeah, straight into it. The charge phase. This should be a pretty quick video because from what I've seen, there isn't a lot of difference between how charges are going to work, how charges are going to work in 8th edition to how they currently work in 7th. So just reading through the article that Games Workshop released, they say the basic mechanics of this phase are very similar to how they work now. You select any unit within 12 inches as the target of your charge, and your units will move forwards towards them 2d6. So again, random charge distances, guys. I know some of us were hoping for some sort of compromise, maybe a movement plus a d6, but no, it's just straight up random charge distances. What does that mean for the guard? Remember, we're trying to do these videos from a guard's point of view. From the point of view of us charging, it's business as usual. I mean, at the end of the day, we've all been fucked over by random charges. It has made, for me personally, it has won or lost games when I've had a 4-inch charge and I've rolled a 1 and a 2. So, not a huge fan of random charges. I understand that sometimes you get those really epic moments when, your Khorne Berserkers charge forward 12 inches. I've had it. I've had to make a 12-inch charge. I've gone for it for the fluff, and I've made it. I've done that with Khan the Betrayer and a squad of Berserkers versus a squad of enemy Assault Marines plus a multi-charge plus a Predator. I've done it, and it was amazing. However, I would prefer some semblance of stability, because I would say having a fixed charge distance with maybe a random element to it, like let's say movement plus d6, it does add tactical depth. Okay, my argument for that is it means you have to use tactics and a strategy to get your guys to the point where they're going to make a charge. The problem I have with random charge distances is essentially, essentially it doesn't make for tactics, it just makes for just luck. And there's no attempt to try and hug cover and then sort of charge out when the enemy's close or work, anything like that. It's random charge distances. You just go for it, and you just try and get as close as possible before you do the charge. I know it doesn't seem like I'm not really making a lot of sense, but I hope you guys sort of understand what I mean. Like, random charge distance is random, and when you this is what I'm trying to say. Random charge distances are random, obviously, and when you have a random element, or when you've got a phase which is entirely based on a random dice roll, it's very difficult to build an actual sort of tactic around that. Tactics are in 40k are much better suited to having a certain element, the ability to carry out that math hammer, the ability to work out in your head as the game goes on what you can expect each one of your units to do, roughly, statistically. Now, obviously, this is a game of dice, so we always have those times when the dice go against us, but there is always that certain element that you can predict a little bit what's going to happen, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing because it allows you to plan and strategize. But anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent too much. So random charge distances are pretty much are still there. So that's business as usual. Enemy units still have a chance to hit the charging units with Overwatch, provided they are not already in combat. Just in the current edition, Overwatch is a hit on a flat 6, so no change there. The only change that I can see is you no longer need to make base to base with the enemy. You just have to get within 1 inch. So essentially all charge distances now are 2d6 plus 1 inch. So your minimum charge distance is now 3 inches away. That's the only change I can see. The other change that they say is you can't move within 1 inch of an enemy unit you didn't declare as the target of your charge. So if you want to engage multiple units, you need to brave the Overwatch fire of all of them. Overwatch can also be fired multiple times per phase, but as soon as the unit is engaged, they will no longer be able to fire back. Right, those 2 bits that I just went over are quite important. So you can't move within 1 inch of an enemy. That's always been the case. You've always got to stay that inch away. I remember that's fine. That's not a big-ish change. I'm sure there's some way that people will be able to abuse it, but we'll see how that goes. That's interesting. I mean, I have seen some note there are some people that are saying it would be like possible to like interlace units, and if someone makes the new mistake of only declaring charge against one, then they don't get to charge because they blah blah blah. I have seen some talk of that kind of bullshit, but we're not really interested in that. The important bit is the Overwatch that can be fired multiple times per phase. So essentially, if someone charges you with 2 units and if they try and charge you, this is a standard tactic that, to be fair, I have done a lot of times as a card player. If I've got a blob of infantry kitted out for some close combat, and then I've just got what's left of another blob, normally conscripts to be fair, what I normally do is I charge the conscripts in first, they eat the Overwatch, and then I charge in the big blob. Can't do that anymore. If you have a unit of conscripts that tries to charge in to eat the Overwatch, and they all get cut down on the Overwatch, and you try and charge the big blob, now they're going to get Overwatch as well. So Overwatch has been made more powerful. So that's kind of a kick in the nuts to the assault phase. But yeah, that's it. It's a quick video, this one. So just to summarize, essentially, random charge distances are still here. That obviously fucks guard pretty majorly. Well, it doesn't fuck us. We stay the same. The one problem that guard have is they have no way of either re-rolling the charge distance with fleet, or +3, like if you've got Khorne Legion stuff. So guard are stuck with the base 2d6, which means charging for us is difficult and risky, often not worth it to shoot in comparison to shooting your opponent. But anyway, Overwatch has been given a slight buff, so you can now Overwatch multiple times until you're actually physically locked in combat. Charge distance has been given an extra inch, but that's it. And that pretty much covers it. Not a lot. Sort of 3 general distinct parts. So not a huge difference there. A couple of interesting things to note. No longer can you have one unit eat the Overwatch. That tactic's gone out the window. And no longer do you have to... no longer does one unit eat the Overwatch, and you technically have +1 to your charge distance, but really, it's not a huge difference. But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Not a lot to talk about here, but obviously, of course, always comment and let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm not perfect. I am fallible, so I could easily have missed something. But yeah, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.